They said Gray paved the way, chased the rain, released the pain, least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high and deadly, I'm a fighter jet, journey.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I love that music. That's my brother from another mother, Mr. Great Cloud, Woodside Project's finest. I am OG Boricua Dandada. I'm here with my brother, Mr. Muffins Martinez, aka the Houston Muffin himself. I got MLW Confusion Rob K. Gentlemen, last segment. Why do you keep showing that? I already gave you a plug and gave you a new nickname. Man, fuck the Astros. How about that?
There can never be too many plugs.
You know what I mean? Like, shit. Oh, yeah. Like, subscribe, all that good shit. Y'all already know what
Stop being a hater.
All the time. So, listen. I know Muffins previously, and I wanted him to kind of jump back into his Leo Rush thing. But
he already
Leo
retired,
Rush,
so it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. Leo Rush, John Hennigan, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact, Johnny AEW, whatever his name is now, Johnny Underground, I think was the new one. All these things, John whatever, and Willie Mack, right? Now, Willie Mack, we know from Lucha Underground. Well, I know from Lucha Underground, Willie Mack did his thing in Impact Wrestling. We've had him in MLW for a while. He goes into this triple threat, has a solid match. And now he's the #1 contender to go against Alex Kane. Now, I don't know how to feel about this because I don't think he's on the level of Alex Kane. I don't think many people are. Leo Rush, I'm going to let Muffins go into that direction. Whatever you want to talk about. But Alex Kane is going to run through this guy without a problem because Alex Kane is just on a level. Listen, I keep telling you he's going to eventually be on the Mount Rushmore of MLW. This is how high I think of Alex Kane. If this match is as good as I think it is, though, this could be what Rob and Muffins were saying, that depending on your title reign, it's about the match quality and the people you fight with it. Willie Mack is a really good, strong, solid, clean worker that these guys could put on a hell of a show. I think this could be a great stepping stone for Alex Kane to keep going forward. But this guy comes out, gets a sneaky win, and now Willie Mack is #1 contender. Gentlemen, talk to me.
I'll know this. I'm going to be pissed off as hell if Willie Mack gets drafted as one of the draft picks. I will be upset as hell if Robert
draft Alex Kane again this year
prediction comes true and he gets picked as one of the draft picks. But once again, I'm sick and tired of watching and seeing these matches of people who are no longer in the company. Johnny Television's in AEW. Leo Rush has been already 3 weeks or a month in Impact Wrestling.
And retired 3 times.
Teaming with Magnus, I mean. So, it's once again... Oh, yeah, he got shot right to the top. With Magnus. Going up against the Motor City Machine Guns. Because now, both of them are singles champions, so... Yeah, so that's what's going on there. So, once again, we keep seeing guys getting airtime in MLW who no longer work for MLW. And it drives me crazy when you see people still getting some shine on the TV on the show who no longer give 2 rat's ass about MLW because they're getting paid somewhere else. So
it does take away from the thing.
Yeah, and honestly, I didn't even know the match last night was for heavyweight title shot.
Oh, they just said #1 contender. They didn't even qualify for what title.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it would be for Alex Kane. It could be for 5.
I mean, I assume it's for the World Heavyweight Championship, but they never specified what title.
I'm hoping it's for the open weight title or middleweight title. Like, do not put the Sasha Chocolate against Kane for anything. He's gonna get killed. You keep him mid card where he belongs, mid card. Open weight or middleweight.
Maybe that's the point, though. We've all agreed. Like I made a comment on one of these episodes is that it saddens me, like what they've done with Willie Mack and how much hype they've given to him, and his win-loss record overall is atrocious. Like I think this might have been his first win. I'll have to cage match it, but this might be his first win in MLW, at least since he's come back.
What was that guy's Son of Havoc? He always was getting matches before and putting some
Mack
4 stars, and he always pick up the loss. And you go like, damn, this dude's lost again?
Yeah.
But, you know, they were using them on the right for the right feuds, you know, bringing somebody else up. Same thing with Willie Mack, I guess.
Yeah. So unless you are, and again, this is the assumption he's challenging for the world championship. Really, unless you're going to give Kane like a good feud to start the party, which I feel like if they were going to do a feud already, like they would have just done it. They would have planted the seeds right now. And right now, the only seeds that have been planted is with the allegedly alive Don King dealing with Cortavius Bauer. But like that, how that is going to turn to a feud, like we don't actively know yet. But that being said, so if you're not going to throw Mack, or if you're not going to throw Kane right into a feud, then he needs a quality opponent to steamroll until he gets into that feud. And Willie Mack, like regardless of what we think, like whether he's actively in like the top of the card in MLW or not, he's the guy that's doing it, that he can do it. He's popular. He will win the fans over, and he will give you a good match. So, like, even if he goes to this match, like, we're all like 99% certain he's going to lose it. But he's going to be able to physically test Kane as to whether he can, you know, put on a championship-worthy match, regardless of the opponent.
The first feud for Kane should be against Sam Adonis. Just because
Sam hasn't done anything noteworthy.
But he's been winning his matches though.
I'm not sure he's done with Mansour though.
But yeah, he lost the pay-per-view one, but he won before. He's getting more looks on TV, and he's your. I mean, who else is a heel there, other than being, you know, that top of the heel? You'll be Sam Adonis, unless you go with one of the guys from The Calling, and that's too much for me right there. I mean, who else is a worthy heel right now in MLW?
Fatu.
He's a heel.
I wouldn't call him a face.
I mean, he's getting always, you know, cheered because of the SST.
Yeah, he's more of a face than Kane is.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Adonis would be perfect, but the thing is, you're just gonna randomly throw Sam Adonis at Kane?
Well, no, but you have now time, like Drop just said, to like, you know, stop dropping the little seeds there.
But I mean, I don't have like, as much as I love Adonis, if we're gonna have him feud, like let's hold it off a little bit. We'll let Sam continue the momentum that he's getting, and then move into the feud.
My question more to this is, okay, if you had him go against Sam Adonis, we don't know if Johnny Impact is going to be around much longer, but let's just say he is, right? Let's just say Johnny Impact John Hennigan is around. So, who does John Hennigan go against? Mr. Thomas or O'Shea Edwards? And
that would be actually. I would love to see him go against O'Shea, because Johnny can flip and O'Shea can throw, and that will be great to just watch him like take John's head off and watch him do like 3 rotations, because that's how that man moves. Somehow.
Oh no, 1,000,000%. But there's not enough firepower in what's considered Aztec Underground, which is those 2 guys, versus the Bomaye Fight Club. There's just not enough power game. 2 versus 3 is never going to be a good thing, especially with the size of those dudes. Pause.
Well, and you don't have to, like, it doesn't have to be a faction feud. I mean, Sam Adonis alone has the mouth to be able to carry almost any feud you want.
But
I don't think they're ready. Yeah, and I'm not saying next week we get this match or get this feud. Like, we can drop the seeds. We can have Sam be, you know, next week. Hypothetically, I'm not 100% for it, but like Sam can like just drop an offhand comment about, you know, oh, like it's a matter of time I come after the World Heavyweight Championship, but first I still have business with Mance Warner, garbage wrestler. And
listen, we love Sam Adonis here. We want Sam Adonis and Kane to be the next Fatu and Hammerstone for MLW. We want that. We see the level of I don't want to say greatness, but the talent level of those 2 guys are top tier dudes. We get that. But it's going to take some work, because Then what do you do with Mance and SGC? What, are they going to mess with SST for what? Like,
or the calling.
I mean, I don't think they're. I mean, I don't think they're necessarily done with the calling yet. But you know, or I could just make the joke about how we could just run Manders completely out of the promotion and replace him with Microman, and it'll be fine. No, but like actually, second gear crew, they're tied with Microman. What just happened to Microman? MSL and his new party of WTF mateys. So that, I mean, that could be a built-in feud right there too.
Absolutely.
You know, so I mean that could be a thing as well, because again, like, and they kind of like use that to like give Mance a feud, like at least a match or two. Like, oh, you messed with my friend Microman, you can't be doing that, baby, because when you mess with the Microman, you're messing with old Mancer himself. You know, so. Well, but that's the thing. Yeah, we can boo
one
him.
Microman fan of the group, and that's Rob. Like,
yeah, the only
no,
one.
But I mean, if he's part of it, I mean, he's going to be an attraction. Let's use him.
Well, if you're gonna go for the next feud, since you said Kane is short, have him go up against Microman.
Only if Microman wins the title.
Kane against Microman. That could be his next feud. Hey, everybody loves Microman, so.
I would love for Snitsky to take Microman and throw him to the back of the venue.
I will give Cortavius Bauer 1 human monies if he puts the title on Microman.
You know what? I don't want to hit. Listen, Alex Kane's not dropping that belt for at least a year and change. I want to see. Listen, I would love to see kind of what they did with SST. I would love to see Kane keep his belt. I'd like to see O'Shea Edwards become the national openweight and knock a Fatu off. It doesn't got to be long, but I think that would also show another monster like Fatu part of the company as well. And Bomaye Fight Club just stand alone looking like the baddest thing. The opportunity that they have right now with Bomaye Fight Club could become the biggest faction they have in MLW. That's the kind of star power that they do have on that group with just those two and Mr. Thomas.
Well, it'll be fun if you have the calling go up against a second gear crew or go up against Bomaye Club, but then you insert another female into their crews to be able to go against Mandy Leon. Then
Tiara James.
Nice. I mean, for the Bomaye Club, man, I could think of Promise Braxton. I could think of Trisha Dora. That will fit
Savannah
perfectly.
Evans would be gnarly in that role too. She's kind of a Hossette.
Yeah, who was it?
Savannah Evans.
Oh yeah,
Cannibal.
Or who you think might be good for the second gear crew?
I mean, if we're going,
Kayla Cassidy.
I mean, if we're just using actual logic in terms of
Probably.
like who's allied with who, you would bring in Allie Catch. I mean, but that uses too much logic and knowing what's going on in the background to do it. So obviously that won't happen for a myriad of actual reasons.
All right.
It'd be kind of cool if they added female to each group. Then you have the guys, and you got a female who's taking care of the females. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, I always want females in factions. You know that, like, and that's my one thing with the calling is they actually have Mandy Leon, one of my favorites. So I pay attention to them for that. But outside of that, I do think that, she is muffin certified snack. You know what I mean? Like she gets the stamp of approval.
Yes.
But listen, gentlemen, we've hit about the 50-minute mark with intros. I think we covered every single thing we wanted to cover, plus more. Am I missing anything?
I just want to throw out, since we've been going off on the tangents of fantasy booking with Alex Kane in feuds, what I really want to see, and this is far down the road. We are talking at least a year.
I'm gonna hate this already. I can feel it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You will. This is blasphemous. Well, not as blasphemous as giving Microman the title, because there's nothing that blasphemous. But this is looking at a year, 18 months down the road. I would like to see O'Shea Edwards be the one to take the title off of Alex Kane. Like, if you do this right, again, key phrase, do this right, you have like the equivalent of the Shield breakup happen in MLW if you can get the people invested in it properly. And O'Shea is a guy that, like, I can, by a stretch of imagination, I can see him getting tired of Alex Kane's mouth. But again, like, this is a slow burn. We're not doing this in 6 months. This is minimum 12.
I think I hear you. I get it. Wheels are turning. I see what you're going with, right? But what if Bomaye Fight Club merch is going crazy? They're in other shows, and it's just drawing attention to MLW. How do you pull the trigger on what's really working financially?
Well, again, and that's something for the money crunchers to kind of decide, and like within the group themselves of how much creative autonomy they have. Obviously, at a certain level, I don't know if the Shield would break up if it was totally up to them to pull the trigger on it. But on the flip side of it, you also don't want them to become the New Day, and I don't mean become like a comedy act, but I mean you don't necessarily want them to like be together forever, and they're going to be stale. And no matter how talented the group is or how good you feel when they do something, like, no one really cares about the New Day in general anymore. So you do every now and again, you got to do something to shake it up. And again, and this is something like we can evaluate down the road. Again, as I said, like at a personal level, like I wouldn't touch that theory for at least a calendar year, preferably at least 18 months, because that way you can get the fans get the fans invested in O'Shea, continue the ascent of the Bomayes, because despite Kane having the championship, they can only go up from here, honestly, or like they should only go up from here. Well, time will tell on that one. So this is more long ball booking than it is anything else. So like, yes, right now it's blasphemous, but like, let's see what's going on, a year and a half from now. Maybe even 2 years. Who knows? Let's just go crazy with it and go really slow burn. And again, like this doesn't necessarily mean the end of the Bomayes. I mean, now they have it. They can have a united front against the usurper, or they can do what they do in Japan. And like this happens every now and again. Is like you have the faction, and then the young buck comes up, definitively beats the leader, and now it's this guy's group rather than the old guys. I mean, this is Suzuki Goon. Like that's how that goes. Until Suzuki, he finally just went like, "No, we had a good run. We're done." Like the history of that stable was basically you had your leader, and then people were like, "Nah, we don't want this leader anymore." Kicked him out, and now the guy who led the insurrection is in charge. But since we're just going crazy with some of the ideas we've had, like this segment alone, like I should already just go ahead and plot the downfall of Alex Kane. And yes. What better than and what is a better downfall than that of Kaiser himself? Getting his Brutus
and his top dry pick. It's interesting. I mean, I would love to see more members part of Bomaye. I want to see Bomaye Fight Club everywhere. I want to see all these guys on independence. I want to see them all over. I want them to build this like a Bullet Club thing, because obviously we see how they ran theirs, how financially stable all those guys, because they all bought in and they lived this shit, right? Like it wasn't like, okay, cool, we're a part of a faction here, we're gonna go do whatever. No, make this bigger than what it has to be. Make this a legit thing. Take it all over the world. Have fun. Get your money up. Do what you got to do. Have more members. I don't care if they become 13 more members. I think that'll be fucking overdoing it, but I'm all for it. Put a woman in there. I'm good. TJ Crawford, sign him, because that guy I'm super high on. Gentlemen, we got 4. We're going to drop these on their heads. I don't know when. Don't care at this point. So listen, for the fake 4 horsemen, because I fucking hate that crew and that stupid shirt, we are out of here.